Now, when first starting out doing your DofE, finding the right kit can be pretty daunting. What type of tent should I get? What litre backpack should I be looking out for? And finding the right stove can be a right old minefield. I'm Shaun from Simply Hike, and here's our Duke of Edinburgh kit list. Tents. When it comes to tents, you have two main options to look for: tent size and pack size. Now, before we take a look at the two options, I'm not going to be talking about the different styles, i.e. geodesic, tunnel and dome. Option 1. The more living and sleep space you have in your tent gives you a better chance of having a good night's sleep. The downside to this is that they tend to have a bigger pack size. The best way of getting around this though is to share your tent with someone else, so then you can break up the tent into 2 or 3 packs, making your carrying load lighter. Option 2. If you really want to reduce the pack size, then look at getting a much smaller tent, say a mountain tent. These tents have a very small pack size and are lightweight. The only downside is that the sleeping area isn't that big, and you'll no doubt have to be sleeping with your kit as well. Walking boots. Now, it goes without saying, a good pair of walking boots maketh the hiker. But when it comes to it, you really don't need to spend lots of money on a pair of boots. The most important thing to remember is with walking boots that comfort is key. You're going to be hiking for hours at a time, and if they're comfortable wearing them in the shop, they'll feel even better on the mountains. The next thing to consider is the waterproofing. If they have Gore-Tex or even, that's a plus, but own brand waterproofing can easily keep your feet dry as well. If you want flex in a boot, then look at a suede boot or soft leather. If you want a boot that's easier to clean, then leather is a better option. If you want a more in-depth guide on walking boots, check out our walking boot guide video. Sleeping bags. The first thing to remember is mummy is always right. Having a mummy-shaped sleeping bag will manage your heat and circulation throughout the night. Now, choosing the right season's sleeping bag can be personal, but as a ballpark figure, look at between 2 and 3 seasons. Depending on what time of year you are backpacking, the colder the weather, the higher the season you'll need. If you want to have a warm sleeping bag but a small pack size, then look at down sleeping bags. But there has been advances in synthetic materials as well. They've got better over the years, so the pack size might be a bit bigger, but they'll keep you just as warm. Stoves. Now, when you think of the DofE and stoves, the only brand that truly pops into mind is Trangia. These stoves have everything: pots, pans, and they're even windproof, and you can either choose meth spirits or gas. And the whole set packs away nicely, meaning you have lots of pans to cook with, and it hardly takes up any room in your backpack. If you can get a Trangia with a gas burner, you can cook better on it and have more control, though these tend to be more expensive. If you want to have a closer look at stoves, take a look at our gas stove guide video. Backpacks. Backpacks, you love them on the first day and you want to burn them on the last. The key thing to remember when looking at rucksacks is not to go too big or too small. The standard size for a weekend hike is 65 litres. This size means you can fit your tent, cook gear, clothing and any other accessories you have, but the pack won't be too empty or too full. Some might say just right. Look at getting a more traditional pack that has an entry point at the top and the bottom of the pack. Some even have a main zip around the pack for even quicker entry. You don't want to be 2 hours into your expedition and realise that your backpack just doesn't feel right. If you want to go more in depth with which backpack to buy, take a look at our backpack guide video. Accessories. Now we've covered the main bits of kit you'll need, let's take a look at some of the smaller stuff that you'll also need. Dry bags. These bags are lifesavers. They help you organise your rucksack and also keep your kit dry, which is always handy. Roll mats. If you want to maximise your comfort when sleeping, then look at upgrading from your foam mat to a self-inflating one. They pack down really small and are way more comfortable. First aid. It goes without saying you're going to need a first aid kit, but you should also add a survival bivvy or blanket, whistle and of course insect repellent. Footwear cleaner and proofer. You should always take a bottle of footwear cleaner or proofer with you on your trek. If it's been a wet hike, once you get to your base camp, take off your boots, spray them with the proofer or cleaner, and then leave them to dry, ready for the next day. And also, don't forget to bring plenty of fresh socks. And there we have it, our DofE kit list guide. Did we miss anything out? Let us know in the comments below. If you thought this video was awesome, then hit that like button, share it with your DofE group, and smash that subscribe button.